Hey everybody, welcome back to the Disney Pod. Today we're flying solo, just Sean and I. Lena's in the pool.
Oh, nice. How hot is it out there?
It's so humid, so humid. It is a very rare California day. But in all seriousness, she's got a business call with the Atlassian team
Oh,
in a little bit. So we're taking the reins today, and what we're going to be talking about today is something very exciting. Might be a little bit more nerdier than our other episodes, but we're going to be ranking and talking about and essentially just discussing all of the current and past Walt Disney Company CEOs.
are we going to go in order?
I think so. I think we'll go back. First one is Roy Disney from 1945 until 1968, if Gemini AI is to be believed. But I was quite surprised that Disney was not, or Walt was not the first CEO of his own company.
Hmm.
But it makes sense because a lot of the documentaries that we watch on Disney say that, well, Roy was really the brains of the operation and Disney was the creative.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want to be worrying about pushing papers when you're trying to envision the next generation of entertainment.
Yeah. So it's going to be very hard not to rank Roy as the number one because he was CEO when Walt was still alive, and a little bit longer as well.
Yeah, a little bit longer too because he went all the way to 68. When did Walt die?
I think he died right about 68, right?
Yeah. Well, I should put Walt Disney. 66.
66. Okay, so he continued on about 2 years after Walt
And
passed.
yeah,
And I'm pretty sure he passed as well, right about that. He didn't retire. I think he passed.
no, Roy went a little bit longer. 71. So he would have
Okay.
seen Walt Disney World open up.
I believe so, but he wasn't. He was no longer CEO. Did he step into a bigger role?
I think he stepped into the finish the park role, if I remember correctly. But 79, stomach cancer. But yeah, I do agree with your statement that it's kind of hard to not put this guy number one because this was the most critical part of the Walt Disney Company's tenure,
Mhm.
right? Verge
Oh,
of
yeah,
bankruptcy
yeah,
multiple times.
multiple times. Yeah, so many times that they were on the If this doesn't happen, we're broke.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna agree with you. The one thing though that I do want to be careful or cautious, right, is there are two Roy Disneys.
Yeah, son also became CEO.
I don't know. I don't see another Roy. I see a Ron Miller, but not another Roy.
I thought there was another Roy Disney
There's a
that.
nephew. There is. He was a nephew of Walt Disney, son of Roy. But what I found most interesting though is that my comment here of like, why did it end? Why did the Disney family end there? Like, why not keep it in the family?
Yeah. Well, I thought the nephew was very involved until the early '80s.
He was, and I'm not saying that there was no involvement, but why not pass the baton of CEOs and keep it within the Disney family?
Yeah, that's a good question. I do not know the answer to that one. I wonder if any of the other podcasters out there have that answer, or your AI buddy here.
I mean, you got to wonder what the backroom conversations were like because I would have assumed that they must have at least considered it, right? That they should have at least had these conversations of like, all right, what does succession plans look like? Although I would imagine that succession plans weren't as important or critical as they are today in modern companies.
Yeah, I would assume that no one really wanted to get involved with Disney when it was, we're going to go broke tomorrow if this doesn't pan out. But then once they've proven themselves a number of times and opened up Disney World, I think everybody wanted to partner with them, and that there was a ton of deals, that included equity, and it basically drove out the relatives in favor of other businessmen.
So it's interesting here. So he literally became the CEO right as soon as Roy O. Disney died and became the first non-Disney family member to head the company. He served from 71 to 76.
Who was this?
For Tatum.
Okay.
For Don Tatum.
Yeah.
He was 5-year tenure. His final position was director emeritus from 92 until his death, which he ended up dying in 1993. Cancer as well.
Hmm.
Did you ever hear of Frank Wells?
The name's familiar, but I'm not sure.
Well, there's a whole history of Frank Wells. Not appropriate for this episode because he was never CEO, but Frank Wells was a very key stakeholder in the success of Disney, and then he had a freak accident. He died in a helicopter crash while returning from a heli skiing trip in Nevada's Ruby Mountains.
Oh, okay.
But Michael Eisner was putting this guy was important to Disney, and then he suddenly died. But yeah, so nothing that stands out too much because a lot of the stuff here that I'm seeing with Mr. Don is he helped with Walt Disney World, Epcot, and Tokyo Disneyland, which Epcot I think is cool, but it opened in 1982, so he would have had some involvement, but not necessarily completion of it. This one opened right when he started it, so it's not like he had any help with that either.
It was when?
Well, he inherited this one, right? Like this was open right when he became CEO.
Tokyo Disney doesn't outdate.
This is Disney World, dude. This is Disney World.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Tokyo because you.
No, I haven't gone to Tokyo. To Tokyo, he might have had some involvement there, but it's still open in 1983. That would have been well after his tenure was over. Anyways.
Yeah.
I do see
years and years to start these parks. When did the France one open?
Disneyland Paris.
I thought that opened before
92. 92.
Oh, really? So the Tokyo one's opened before the.
Yeah, almost 10 years.
Wow. Okay, I had my dates off on that. I have not been to either one. I definitely
we gotta fix that, don't we, folks? If you're watching this, you haven't hit that subscribe button. Now would be a great time to hit the subscribe button. All right. So after after Mr. Don, we had Mr. Card Walker, Esmond Carden Walker. He's known as E. Carden Walker, and he served as the executive of Walt Disney Productions from the 60s through the 80s. Then he became the CEO. So 2 years after Walt Disney's death in 66, Walker became the executive vice president, chief operating officer. When Walter, so this makes sense that he would have been up. Usually your CEOs become your CEOs.
Yeah.
Disney died in 71. Walker became the president, serving under Don Tatum. Then this makes sense, right? So when Don Tatum stepped away, then this guy came over.
Yeah. So that's basically the timing of when the Disney animation wasn't doing so hot. You had like Sword in the Stone and the Black Cauldron and the Adventurers, and then you kind of had a lull until the Little Mermaid kicked everything off again. So was he involved at the tail end of that, or who stepped in when the Little Mermaid came out?
Well, when did the Little Mermaid come out again?
The same year you were born.
No, because he was only the CEO for a couple of years, so he was only on there for. Oh yeah, no, well before.
Well, those are the years that the animation was really, not at its peak.
Yeah, I think so. I think one thing that we haven't covered, right, is 45 to 68. But Roy Disney, obviously, we have Disneyland, we have the Magic Kingdom. Don Tatum looks like he's inherits the Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom development, has a little bit of insight or a little bit of play with Epcot, probably greenlit it.
Yeah.
And then had some involvement with Tokyo. Mr. Walker here, it didn't look like he did much on his stuff, but let's see. Top executive, he sought to expand Disney's presence international. Epcot and Tokyo Disneyland were both opened under his leadership, and presided over the dedication of both parks. Oh, well, this is great. He approved the creation of the Disney Channel. I grew up with that. I did not know that the Disney Channel was that old. He's also inducted as a Disney legend.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hall of Famers. Cool. So yeah, so once he finished, who took over him? We got Ron Miller. So Ron Miller's the name that I now start recognizing.
Okay.
Let's look at Mr. Ron
I
Miller.
don't remember Ron Miller at all.
No? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. He's a son-in-law of Walt Disney's family.
Okay.
Born near LA, he attended USC, fellow Trojan. Disney sponsored his son-in-law and got him into the screen. Which Disney? There's too many Disneys. He was drafted into the army. He was prompted by Walt Disney to return to work for him. So I guess Disney proper, Walt Disney. Worked on a second assistant on Old Yeller. That's a great movie.
Yeah. I'm surprised you watched it.
Yeah, no, I've seen that one. So let's see. Miller became the president of Walt Disney in 1980 and CEO in 1983. Miller pushed the company to expand and explore, creating Touchstone Films
Okay.
in the Disney Channel. That we established that the Disney Channel was already created before. Innovator, experimenting in early computer animation such as Tron, the original one. Funding an upstart Tim Burton, so he helped bring that on to the scene. And the Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Okay.
And then they asked him why he created Touchstone Films. One day, Walt called and said, "I should have gotten my film. I've got a film I'm running tonight. Why don't you come on over?" So Dan and I went over there. The film was To Kill a Mockingbird. When it was over, Walt said, "Damn, I wish I could make a film like that," but he couldn't.
That's why.
Okay, so this is so I've heard bad things about this, and I think this is where things start to come. So under Miller's leadership, Disney became the target of corporate raiders and takeover attempts, drawing criticisms from many influential stakeholders. In 1984, fellow Disney family member Roy E. Disney,
Okay.
the son of Walt Disney's brother Roy, Stan Gold, and shareholder Sid Bass, ousted Miller in favor of a trio of non-Disney executives, and then they brought in Michael Eisner, Frank Wells, and Jeff Katzenberg,
Okay.
which I think this is the pivotal moment. I think this is where we take a downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Katzenberg, I don't know if you know what he did or who he became, but he went on to create one of Disney's biggest competitors.
Yeah.
Because of a creative differences between him and Michael Eisner. Michael Eisner, other than Bob Chapek, because Bob Chapek was really the worst possible CEO. But Eisner is my least favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Other than but Chapek was such a CEO for like, what, 3 days?
A couple years, but yeah.
Yeah, but he drove Disney to the ground in the short time that they gave him the key.
Yeah, things seem to be worse under his, but I don't know if I agree that he drove it into the ground.
I don't think he drove it into the ground as a bad CEO. I think he was just dealt a horrible set of hand.
Yeah.
Right? Because he inherited Disney right at the start of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, no theaters.
Yeah.
No parks.
Yeah.
And that is Disney.
Yeah.
Like what is the Disneyland company, or what is the Disney company if not parks and experiences?
Well, luckily they still have streaming and they could still they couldn't really make movies.
They couldn't make new content.
Yeah, new content was not really possible for a little bit there. But the thing is, they have so much old content that they could have just, rebranded. We're talking about remaking the live action movies. All they have to do is re-release all the movies in the vaults during the pandemic.
Yeah, but I had heard that Ron Miller got ousted out, and you can see he's the shortest tenured CEO at this point. 1 year. I don't know. I guess you didn't have enough time, but I'm more sad that this happened with Roy. But you would think that Roy then had good reason to oust him. But Michael Eisner, I do not like Michael Eisner.
Well,
but that's the next one. So Michael Eisner was the CEO for a long time.
And he's the one that really grew the business.
What I do not like about Michael Eisner is his background, right? So he did 21 years at Disney. Mm-hmm. He brought The Little Mermaid.
Yeah. So he basically resurrected their animation studio.
Yeah.
Because the animation studio, they had a couple semi-hits in the 80s, but for the most part, all those movies.
This
You know,
is why you like him, because he acquired the rights to the Muppets.
well, Didier was that already in the works before he started.
He did Euro Disney, which was Paris. Did
Yeah,
Animal Kingdom. He
yeah.
approved DCA, so he expanded the parks quite a bit. I'm not gonna
Let's
lie.
go back to the Muppet thing. Don't scoot over that. So Jim Henson was in talks to sell the Muppets to Disney when he passed away, and he passed away in 1990 or either 1990 1989. I can't remember exactly. I think it was 19. I was in the military when it happened, and I'm a huge Muppet fan, so that was devastating that Jim Henson passed away. But that stalled the Muppets being bought by Disney by a number of the years because Jim Henson's family didn't agree with Jim Henson that the Muppets should be owned by Disney. And eventually, Disney did get it, but I'm pretty sure that it was in the late 80s. So who was the CEO in the late 80s?
Into the late 80s, it would have still been him, Mr. Eisner.
It is so okay. I'll give him credit then. He has credit for winning over the Muppets.
Okay, but here's probably why. Now I know why I don't like Michael Eisner. Walt Disney, Steve Jobs did not like Michael Eisner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, him and Jobs had a clash.
Mm.
And it wasn't until Iger came back and had to sit down with Jobs and convince him that Disney wasn't evil. But yeah, Jobs did not like it, and all my influences over that I like about Steve Jobs influenced me to not like Eisner, even though it was great for the company. Like, he grew the business, like you said.
Yeah, I'm not giving any weight to Steve Jobs not liking somebody. Steve Jobs liked very few people, and he was a very tough person to get along with.
Well, he liked Bob Iger, and we're gonna get into Iger, who's my favorite CEO.
Okay.
All right, so yeah. Following the death of the founders, Walt Disney, Roy. Okay, what do we got here? Multiple Sid Bass. So yeah, so he was appointed CEO. I do believe he was brought over, if I'm not mistaken, before. Yeah, wait, where is he? Yeah, Tubers, NBC, CBS.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Hollywood guy.
Yeah,
he was a Hollywood guy before he came over. But the breakup with this guy Katzenberg, almost like it's.
Mm-hmm.
That was bad. And then Frank Wells would have been a really good person, but he sadly passed away. But I guess, I don't know. Eisner also introduced DCA with the original theming of DCA. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, he also brought in Walt Disney Studios Park, which is the Hollywood Studios, because he only made that one to compete with what Universal Studios was doing. And I've always, Disney has had to reimagine both DCA and Hollywood Studios.
Oh yeah, Hollywood Studios is nothing like it used to be.
Yeah, but they've had to redo all of that because of poor decisions he did. He wasn't I feel like he was a great business executive, but he was not a creative.
Yeah. The original Hollywood Studios, or it wasn't Hollywood, it was what MGM.
Yeah.
Disney MGM, and that was like, let's teach people how movies are made, and the entire park was more educational. It had the back movie lot, which I kind of like that. The movie ride was great.
I'm not smoking crack though. Eisner's final years at Disney were tumultuous. A string of box office bombs in the early 2000s, public feuds with former associates like Katzenberg and Steve Jobs, and dissatisfaction with Eisner's management style accumulated in the Save Disney campaign organized again by like how the one that put him in that spot. Now he's like, get him out. Eisner rapidly lost his confidence of much of Disney's board of directors. As a result of the pressure from the campaign, Eisner announced in March 2005 it would step down as CEO, prematurely handing the day-to-day activities to Bob Iger. Now let's enter Disney's golden era.
Okay.
I love Bob Iger. This isn't an executive.
He's responsible for bringing Pixar in-house.
The list is he wrote a book. He wrote a book. Marvel, Pixar, 21st Century Fox. He single-handedly not single-handedly, but he oversaw all of Shanghai.
Yeah.
Disneyland. He's also responsible for all the dumb security that we have at Disney. He brought in the Disney Plus, the acquisition of Hulu.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I love this guy. This is the probably my favorite CEO. He now also talk about a American dream here, right? Like this guy. Well, I don't know how much of an American dream, but this guy started as a janitor and worked his way all the way up.
Mhm.
Like that is from zero to hero here.
I
He
would
worked
say
his way.
that's American Dream, yeah.
Yeah, so he worked all the way up to become the CEO, right? And grew Disney exponentially, made the deals with Steve Jobs and Apple to be part of the when Apple launched the video on demand that you could buy digital media.
Mhm.
That was a huge part of that Apple Disney thing. Oh, did we mention Lucasfilms? We didn't mention Lucasfilms.
No, we didn't mention that. Hard to miss that, but yeah.
Yeah, he did Marvel, Lucas, Pixar. It's just amazing. Made Steve Jobs a billionaire. Made Steve Jobs also one of the largest shareholders of Disney.
Mm.
And then he kind of finished. He announced his retirement in 2020, and on February 25, they named Bob Chapek.
Yeah, and then they had to pull him back from retirement.
Yeah, folks, yeah, hold on to Mr. Iger. We will be back. We will be back. So again, I guess we should do a little rank here before we end the episode, right? Because we did say we are going to rank him, but kind of give him some history. We got good old Bob Chapek here. No idea who this homie is, but
yeah, I don't know much history on Bob. I do think he got handed a losing hand.
He got 26-year career at the Walt Disney Company, so it's not like he was new to this.
Mm-hmm.
Home entertainment division, eventually rising to chairman of Parks and Resorts. Chapek, who had a controversial tenure CEO, was dismissed in 2022, and Iger took back over. But let's look at what happened here. So Chapek began his career in 1993. Buena Vista was focused on selling VHS.
Nice.
Let's see. President of Consumer Products. So in September 2011, launched the Disney Magic Academy. The suite of numerous tablet and smartphone apps designed to give children high-quality learning games.
Okay.
Then they gave him Parks and Resorts, which I think is if you're not on movies, then you're on parks. Those are like the two positions I would think you want at Disney. He replaced Thomas, was promoted to Disney's chief operating officer. Who was promoted? Okay. Chapek immediately began working towards the completion and launch of Shanghai Disney. 11 million guests. Okay, so he supervised Pandora, which I heard is one of the greatest things, but you don't like it.
No, I don't like it.
Managed the construction.
It's a very well done land, but I don't like the Avatar.
He oversaw Galaxy's Edge, so that's good.
That's good, yeah.
So I don't know what's going on in here. He's got hit after hit. He negotiated retail collaboration in 25 Disney stores, select Target departments.
Oh, did Disney stores die under his watch? You know, every mall used to have a Disney store.
They did. They definitely did under his watch, because in May 18, 2020, Chapek announced Josh D'Amaro as his successor to the position of chairman of Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products. So at least he set the next CEO in line. All right. So then here we go. Here's where we get into it. So 2020, again, this is what, 2.5 weeks, 3-4 weeks before COVID formally shut down here in California.
Mm-hmm.
California Disney parks were shut down for over a year. Yeah. Bob Iger handpicked him. Mm-hmm. Iger retained creative control, remained executive chairman until 2021. This was considered a surprise to many of his employees, who had seen Kevin Mayer as the heir apparent to Iger. Kevin Mayer is an American business CEO, co-founder and co-CEO of Candle Media. That's what happens when he was briefly the CEO of TikTok. Right, in April 2020, Chapek was elected to the Walt Disney Board of Directors. Iger reportedly resisted relinquishing power to Chapek from an outset, insisting on keeping his office and calling himself Big Bob, Chapek, Little Bob. So he was already like, I don't get this. I don't know why Iger did this right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, jumped over this guy for
but like undermining his authority, right? Because he's like, I'm just sticking around, and you're like the CEO on paper.
Yeah.
Let it reveal that
Obviously,
Chapek.
he was not convinced or something.
Yeah, I mean, but then he handpicked him, so that doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
It was later revealed that Chapek remained the CEO again on paper, but Iger resumed control during COVID. Numerous interviews with Financial, Chapek said he was focusing on open Disney theme parks in 20 reopened with limited capacity, approximately 24,000 visitors a day. Chapek said that upon reopening Walt Disney World in July 2020, both employees and guests would be required to take temperature checks, wear masks.
Yeah.
First attraction he would visit is Pirates. He agreed to keep Disney World at only 25 capacity. With regards to it's not much of a negotiation. It's pretty much a mandate that we stay closed. At March 2021, after California eased restrictions, he said, here in California, we're encouraged to be positive. So so October 21, returned. Disney weathered. I think he did. I don't know why I don't like Chapek so much now. I think I'm changing my mind. He did. He had an uphill battle, and he fought hard.
Well, the other things I didn't like about it, because everyone kept saying during his reign that they lost the magic. That was something I heard over and over again, and I think that was partly bullshit. But also, this is when they got into trouble with Florida, and they had the
that was the whole woke thing, huh?
The whole woke thing that Florida was pushing hard against the wokeness, and Disney tried to stay neutral. And being neutral these days is seen as being very wrong and woke, and so then they lost the governmental control over the Disney World Park, or the Disney. They were their own government forever, and now they're not, and now they have to share. They basically share that county with Florida now. So, yeah,
this guy, but I think he was screwed over then.
I do too. I think he was handed a losing hand. I don't know how much influence not having the real CEO title given to you means.
Well, because you couldn't do your job, and he could so that was like the thing that I was worried with Josh tomorrow, right? When so we now have a new CEO. So just to kind of wrap up, right? Iger comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Iger comes back because he went from 22 to 26. So he did it for 4 more years, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then just recently, we've had an episode on this, right, when Josh came back. But I was expecting Josh to be, because Iger, now that you kind of look at it, other than the acquisitions, Iger really screwed things up then.
Mm-hmm.
And even acquisitions are not a good thing. I was telling you about Asha. So Asha is the new CEO of Xbox. She came in and she has been having in 100 days, she completely reset Xbox. And you know what hurt Xbox a lot? All the acquisitions. The previous CEO of Xbox went and bought all these acquisitions, inflated the portfolio, and made the business just unsustainable. And I'm thinking now,
Activision,
Blizzard,
but
we see a very similar thing with these acquisitions for that Iger did, and I don't think that those were good for the business. Now that I'm thinking about it, because
Marvel and Star Wars, they've made a lot of money on that.
No, they made a lot of money, but you also remember under Iger's leadership, we had the whole great debacle that was Phase 4 of Marvel, right? After Endgame, it all went downhill, right? WandaVision, Loki, all those shows were so sudden. We had so many shows.
Enjoyed those, but I've stopped watching them. I don't know. I think I stopped watching at the last Loki.
You stopped watching because everything from Iron Man in 2008 all the way through Endgame had a linear story to tell. But as soon as they ended Endgame, they kind of just went all over the place with the multiverse, and they were just pushing content, and all that started happening under Iger again.
I did enjoy most of those, but yeah, I've stopped watching. I don't watch the Disney Channel much anymore. And
all right, well,
I'm behind on some of the Star Wars stuff. and I definitely am
Yeah.
behind that
But
Marvel universe.
I was just expecting more from Josh, but it's interesting because I would have expected Josh to fix all the problems that Iger left, because now I'm realizing Iger left a lot of problems. The biggest problem that Iger has left is the overcrowdedness, the overexpense, like Disney's not affordable, the dumb
No, I think that started. Yeah,
reservations.
that started a while ago. Yeah, I hate the reservations. The problem, and I think we've talked about this before. The problem with the affordableness is if it's affordable, you can't get rid of the crowds, and
It's an interesting phenomenon too, though, because Disney, I don't know if you know, but there's a new evening ticket available.
I do know about that. In fact, I was curious if that has any effect. In fact, we were talking about Brickley, before we hit record on this, and his latest video, he's testing, to see how well the parks are prior to the evening people coming in.
Yeah.
And
And
he
there's a
was
lot of evening people coming in. They also announced a Disney Anaheim partnership. So if you're an Anaheim resident, they mailed out letters to every Anaheim resident and said, "Hey, you can come in for $50."
oh, that's nice.
So
For the evening or any time.
anytime.
Nice.
But it's still, Disney never does this unless they're hurting for people to come to the parks.
Yeah,
I've been
video I watched the other day, there was nobody there. It's almost all the rides were walk-ons, and
yeah,
although
we're sitting here at 5 p.m. on. Okay, so I think Disney's appropriately staffed or packed right now. So 95 minutes for Cars Land right now, Radiator Springs.
yeah,
60 minutes for Tower of Terror, Guardians.
Guardians.
75 minutes for Space Mountain, which is not bad, and 65 minutes. So I think I would say it's medium to medium heavy full right now.
Okay.
But it is also after 5 p.m. So those evening tickets are now in effect. Anyways, let's rank them. Let's kind of go back to the list.
All right.
All right, let's go with least favorite. Now that I'm looking at it,
I will say I can't remember the guy's name now. Yeah, Walker. No, Chapek is my least favorite.
Chapek, I'm kind of convinced on Chapek. I mean, obviously he messed things up, but he had a good stride at Disney for those 29 years. I'm gonna go Miller my least, just because he didn't do anything in a year.
Yeah. Miller and Walker, they were kind of in the lull of the Disney animation.
Yeah, so let's put Miller lowest. I'm gonna put Walker and Tatum in that bottom 3 tier.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay. Now I am torn. I would have put Bob Iger as number 1, but I'm gonna drop him to my number 4. I'm gonna put him right above the bottom 3. I'll put Eisner, then Chapek, and then Roy at number 1.
I would agree that I would definitely have to have Roy as number 1. I might say I think Eisner is number 2.
Okay.
And then the rest basically the same that you just ordered them.
All right. I mean, I can live with that. I had Iger higher on the list, but now I'm a little. But I believe it's not fair for me to put Chapek higher, but because Chapek did, I think he had good intentions to be a great CEO and could have been a great CEO.
Yeah,
but life handed him the backside of it.
Was the wrong time to be the CEO of a theme park.
But Iger did him dirty, and I think that's why for that I'm dropping Iger a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right, and then for Josh again, I'm not happy.
It's too early to
no,
rank.
He's had over 100 days. He could have implemented some serious changes. The only thing that Josh D'Amaro did when he came in was he fired a bunch of people, and the only positive thing that I think he's done is he's gotten rid of the park hopping restriction.
Who brought Phineas and Ferb back?
I don't know, the guy who does the voice.
Well, no, he got greenlit. Oh, they were asked to bring Phineas Ferb back, but it was an exec at Disney. Under whose reign did that fall? It must be Chapek, right? No, I guess maybe it's Iger
That's Iger.
because it was roughly a year ago they were asked to create more Phineas and Ferb.
I was gonna say it was lobbying from the actor. I
yeah,
forget which.
apparently, if you mention Dan, now I can't pronounce his last
Yeah, the
name.
platypus guy, right? The voice of the platypus.
Yeah. If you mention Dan's Potemeyer, that's not how you pronounce, but something close to that. I
Yeah,
can't pronounce stuff when I want to pronounce it. If you mention and tag him in something, he will respond.
he
so
goes to Disney. I don't know. I saw some of his older videos on TikTok. He would
goes
go
all
to
the
Disney.
time.
He got stuck, but earlier during the pandemic, he got stuck on Rise of the Resistance,
Yeah.
and he called up the guy because he's friends with the guy who
Saw that,
designed the ride.
Yeah.
He's like, "Fix your ride. I'm stuck on it."
And the guy actually pulled some strings, and
It's good to have friends in high places, but yeah, that the voice of the platypus, he's a good guy to follow on.
so when Jeremy edits this, have him add that, or tag Dan in the video and see if Dan actually watches.
All right, folks. Well, that's our list.
I've got a platypus up here somewhere.
And
So
did you watch the World Cup yesterday?
I don't watch soccer.
You should have. Did you not watch the halftime show?
Oh, I heard the Muppets were there. I saw the Muppets on
The Muppets were there.
Yeah, I saw them on TikTok or something. They came up, so that's all I need to see. I don't need to watch the game.
All right, so I'll leave it with this.
Soccer had half times. I thought they had 3 quarters like hockey. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a long game. Josh has big shoes to fill. I feel like he could have done more. He's had well over 100 days. Asha came in. She came in swinging. She wrote letters. She got in front of people. She rebranded and brought the old logo back. This is the original Xbox logo.
Yeah, I recognize it. I didn't know they had a different logo.
Yeah, they had a newer logo. She got rid of she killed all the marketing campaigns of this is an Xbox, where everything was an Xbox, including your iPhone.
I wasn't aware of that either.
Yeah, she cleaned up. I'm telling you, watch what this woman has done in 100 days. And that's what I was expecting from Mr. DeMauro. So a little sad there. But it is possible until Iger maybe rolls over. He's still stringing. He's puppeteering everything. Maybe Iger is like the evil Emperor Zurg. Where the heck are you going?
I'm looking for my platypus. I've lost my platypus. I know I have one. Huh.
That's Sean in full screen for his platypus.
Well, it's not in my Doctor Who collection because it doesn't belong there. I thought I also had a Doofenshmirtz too. Oh well.
All right, folks. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, now would be a great time to hit the subscribe button. Drop a like. Let us know what your order for your favorite and least favorite CEOs are. Favorite memories. But yeah, we'll be back next week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Bye, everybody.
Bye.